Now, I'm here to tell you that Google knows you better than your mom. Damn! Now, I know you're saying, what is wrong with this guy? This guy has gone mad, but bear with me, so let's get started. Now, there's a portal on Google that allows you to see everything that Google has harvested from you. Now, on the portal you see things like gender, your birthday, your age. Pretty basic things you provide the app when you're signing up for the app. But on the same portal, there's a list of other things, other interests of things you've been doing, things Google has learned from you. Now, if you scroll up from this list, you'll find that these things, these interests, this data Google has gathered from you is pretty mind-blowing, and that's because of how precise and specific they are. Now, for example, the other day a friend of mine was asking where he could buy some pieces of tech, and I suggested Alibaba to him. And true to the word, Alibaba was flagged as one of my interests. Google also seems to have tapped into my Netflix, and it knows I like watching action, adventure, and horror films. It doesn't stop there because Google apparently knows that I love BMWs and Mercedes. Google has also logged onto my Play Store activity, and it knows that I prefer customization and productivity apps. And as such, every time I open my Play Store app, the first apps I'll interact with in the suggestion bar will be apps that help me personalize my phone, apps that help me use my phone in a different way. Google knows I follow a lot of computer news, software news, rock music news, environmental issues, network security. A few things aren't right though, because on this list I can see it's flagged parenting as one of my interests. Okay.
That sounds explicit.
But according to my thinking is, Google has projected that in the next couple of years, parenting might come up as one of my interests, maybe YouTube Kids, who knows. Now, you might be asking, how does Google gather all this data from your device? For example, YouTube. Now, Google clearly states that it keeps a record of all comments you've ever dropped on YouTube. Now, that might seem okay because most of the time people are on YouTube or such things, they're most probably or almost always using another identity. Now, most of the time, I usually see people write a lot of things on YouTube comments as if they were completely invincible. But thing is, Google knows who you are, what device you're using to drop that specific comment. Moving on, if you think about when people are ashamed of it themselves, it's when they are alone. And they most probably or almost always have their phone on them. That's the time when they go online, browse, look at videos, do some online shopping. All that can be summed in one term called sending information to Google. And as such, it's perfectly possible to say that Google knows you better than your family or your friends, because you're not going to tell your friends that you're secretly into Powerpuff Girls at the age of 25, or ask your friends to check on a lamp that's growing on your thigh. Most of the time, you're going to happily ask Google for such answers. Now, we know Google gathers a lot of information from us, and if anything, we've consented to that. But considering when this information from all those platforms accumulates, we realize how powerful Google is. It's gotten to a point where Google knows you better than your own mom. Now, for example, Google knows exactly how you sound, because every time you're setting up your Google Assistant, where you interact with your Google Assistant with your voice, you have to train your Google Assistant to recognize you. As such, the algorithm behind Google will get better and better at recognizing how you pronounce certain words, such that even if your own sibling or someone that sounds like you tries to open your phone, Google will recognize it's not them and as such keep your phone locked. Think about this. When you take a photo on your phone, Google Photos knows from the image data that this is a selfie. Thus, it knows that it's you in that selfie. As such, the algorithm gets better and better at pinpointing your face in every picture you take, no matter the lighting. Even if it's a group photo and you're somewhere in the background, Google can pinpoint you. This might be the most invasive part of all this because Google knows your location timeline. Google keeps a record of every town, every city, every country you've visited and knows exactly how long you spent in that specific place. Example, Google knows the last time I was in Mombasa. It also knows on this particular day I was stuck in traffic at the Nyali Bridge that took 20 minutes. Put all this together and you'll see some serious implications. Number one, it is paramount, and I can't stress this enough. It is paramount for you to protect your Google account. You might think if someone had access to your Google account, all they'll see is some old emails, spam emails, and things like that. But
that is where you go wrong.
if someone, say a hacker, got access to your Google account, they basically have access to all your preferences, all your interests, and in a nutshell, they can basically download you. Number two, we are protected by data regulators. See, as much as Google has all this power, has all this data about you, there are hundreds of bodies out there that govern how Google uses that specific information. So you can keep trusting the company because it has made life so simple. 3. Google faces a moral dilemma according to their ethos on what exactly to do with that data. In as much as that data is protected and there are certain rules on how that data can be used, that data can be used to help other people. It can help people to know what to expect when they visit certain places. It can also predict which people are prone more to self-harm and even start flagging potential terrorists just based on their search histories. Now, thank you guys so much for watching. If you like this video, please hit that like button. Subscribe if you haven't. Remember to share. It's Hezion here. This is Lord Hezion. See you in the next one.